I should be live. I'm trying to check. But I don't see myself. Are we live? Okay, I don't know if we're live. Okay, it seems like we're live. So, hi everyone. The live stream should start at 8 Central European Time. So we'll just wait for a couple more minutes for everyone to join, and yeah, then we'll start. Okay, hopefully you should be able to hear me. I have some feedback here. I mean, I can see myself in the live. So just 4 more minutes, and we'll be starting. Okay. So we just want a couple more people to join, and in 4 minutes we'll start. So just for the ones that are early now, this is going to be a stream about my course on Manning's website. My course is about Julia, and I will explain why I made this course, what's in it, how you could benefit from it, and yeah. So we'll start in 3 minutes. Thank you for those joining. I see 5 people, and hopefully more coming. I don't know if Manning people are gonna join during the stream. I'm still waiting for their answer, but we'll see if they join. Yeah, thanks for the 5 people who are there with us, and we'll start soon. Okay, I see some people are joining the stream. So just to repeat, thanks for joining, and we'll start in 2 minutes. Just waiting for some more people to come, and I'll present you my course about Julia. I also see that if you have questions, you can post them in the chat. Okay, I see Omendes Morales. Greetings from CL. What's CL? I'm not sure. Is that Colombia? But hi, Omendes Morales. Nice to have you. Okay, we'll start in just a minute. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll be starting soon. Chile. Okay, nice. I was in Chile 2 years ago. I landed in Santiago, and then I went all the way south to Patagonia. So thanks for joining, Omendes Morales. Did you get the course already, or do you want to get more information in order to potentially buy it? But it's crazy that we have people from Chile. I'm in France, by the way. Cool. Have not done the course yet. Okay, cool. Well, I hope you like it. So yeah, people from Chile, and I'm from France. If people are from other parts of the world, just let us know in the chat. It would be cool to know where you guys are from. Okay, so it's 8. It's 8 in in France. So I think we'll start. Okay, so you guys see my screen. Okay. So let me present you the course, and I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. So if you have any question, just you can ask them in the chat. Okay, so this is Manning's website. You probably know Manning's website already. And if you scroll down in the live projects, you'll probably see mine. Learn Julia in 3 small projects. This is my project. It's my live project, which includes 3 projects. Okay, so if you click on it, you get a description. You get a description of each project. I mean, you guys are probably familiar already with Manning a live project. Okay, I'm saying people are from UK, but not one of the 48% who wanted to stay in EU. Okay. Oh, you are one of the 48% who wanted to stay in EU. Okay, cool. Fair enough. So yeah, you can see prerequisites. You can see the tools. To be honest, the tools, like, you don't need that much in order to start the project. You just some basic math from high school. And if you're not into math really, you like, there is boilerplate code. There is stuff that is given to you. So if you don't care about math, you can just come and get this project, and I think you won't be lost, even if you don't like math. And if you like math, there's also, I'm a mathematician myself, so I took care of including things that could be interesting for a mathematician. So extra resources, for instance, which link to explanations, deep explanations of why we're doing what we're doing, especially in the 3rd project, the one on LCS, so longest common subsequences. Yeah, so you can check that out. I see that more people are joining, so thank you for that. What you will learn, so basically all of the good stuff, all of the arrays, all of the data types, sets, dictionaries. If you're familiar with Python, this is fairly similar. Functions, multiple dispatch. This does not exist in Python, I believe. So I think in C it's called method overloading or something like that. I'm not too familiar with it, so yeah, you can correct me if that's wrong. Structures, which are like class in Python, data visualization, and then we use a couple libraries, but mostly Plotly.js because it's interactive. I use it in Python. I really love it, and they're making a great integration with the Julia language. Statistics libraries, but this is very basic. It's not like parameter estimation or this kind of heavy stuff. It's more like just simple mean, maybe standard deviation, but I'm not even sure. So it's very basics, and we use the statistics library. Okay, I see more people, so thank you everyone for joining. And then LCS basics, so that's what I was talking about. So it says longest common subsequence basics, and then basically just some plot inference and trying to basically play with graphs and get results from them. If there's anything that is wrong, like the sound or anything, just let me know in the chat. I'm trying to check the chat from time to time. Okay, so that's it. Couple descriptions about the projects. So just to give you a rough idea what the projects look like. Basically, the first one is kind of making a simple shop stock tracker. So basically, like, you have a shop, like some imaginary shop, and you have items coming in the shop and items getting sold, and like people pay you with cash and you need to pay them back, giving them the right number of coins and the right number of nodes in a smart way, this kind of thing. So you need to make like a structure, which is like a class, basically some small object-oriented programming, and basically you then play with it. You add items, you sell items, you decrease the number of items, you increase the money you get, this kind of thing. And then the second project, this one, is understanding a pandemic. So basically in this one, there's some pandemic that happens in the world, and you're given some data about it, and there are some nice epidemic models. So we play a little bit with epidemiology. So if you're interested into that, you can go and check more resources about it. But if you're not interested into that, you can just like I give you the model, the epidemic model, and if you just want to plug it and then get conclusions from it, you can do that as well. So it's really like following what you like. You get different experience from the project depending on whether you want to dive deep or not. So that's the second project, and basically the idea of the second project is like we give you some parameters, and you're supposed to understand a little bit what the parameters do, and depending on what they do, their effect, you should like change the number of parameters, deduce like, okay, what if we all put masks, and what if like people get vaccinated so the contagion rate decreases, and this kind of thing, and then you deduce the measures that the government should take in order to fight the pandemic in a way that's not too restrictive, in a way that's that fits everyone, and trying to do the best for your country or whatever it is. I mean, it's a fictional global pandemic, as it says in here, so it's mostly about understanding plots and playing with plots rather than really like having some hard thoughts about the pandemic. Like if you're pro-vaccine, if you're anti-vaccine, it doesn't come into account for the project. Don't worry, it's just to learn about Julia. And the third project is about cracking the code. So this one is quite some fun, actually. This is the one where you use LCS, what I mentioned before, so longest common subsequences. And basically you have some sequences that come from whatever like DNA related or this kind of idea, like a code of animals. So like, you know, some kind of ACTG, this kind of thing. So you have different values. I don't know if we're gonna have some nice this kind of sequences. So you have ACTG, this kind of thing, and then you're supposed to check how much is in common between two animals, between the sequences of two animals, and depending on that, you're basically trying to draw conclusions of the species which was responsible for spreading the disease to humans. So it's quite funny. Like there's a kind of mystery to solve throughout the project. So it's, I don't know, I had some fun doing it. I hope you'll have fun in working on it as well. But yeah, still the idea is still to make some plots, to see what's going on, to draw some conclusions about the plot, and yeah, that's the overall idea. Okay, so maybe we should dive into the project. So okay, I don't know how much I can show you from that, so I don't want to show you too much, because otherwise maybe some people won't be happy with me. So yeah, you see I'm splitting the projects into milestones, so that really you have strong feedback as you go through the project, and you basically have you can check your solutions against mine. I provide you with a partial solution and full solution. Sorry, so if you're stuck, you can use the partial solution in order to get some hints, and if you're completely lost, you can have a look at the full solution, and basically just see what you should have done, or see a different way of doing things compared to what you did, and this may give you some inspiration. Now that there's also some certificate of completion, which means that you can get a certificate that you can then share with everyone. You can put on your resume, you can show off to your friends if you want, and this certificate, I think, is only valid if you don't look at the solution. If you look at the solution, I think you lose the certificate, so you can't get it afterwards. So just be aware of that. But whenever you click on solution, usually there should be a pop-up saying like, are you sure you want to check the solution? If you check the solution, then you're gonna lose your certificate of completion. So don't worry about that. And normally at the end of every section, you should have a feedback page, basically, where you can directly tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, and depending on that, I can make changes to the course. If you tell me that something was not clear, then I can update the course depending on what you liked, and if you think things should change, then I'll change them if we get that from quite a few people. Okay, so oh yeah, I was thinking about resources as well. We have some resources that are coming from other books, books that are available as well, like Manning, Julia, data analysis, something like that. You have a book from hands-on data science. Okay, it's probably not referenced on Google now yet, but it should be somewhere in the resources. Basically, we have two books at Manning that are coming out right now and that have sections about Julia. And whenever you're in doubt, basically, whenever you need some extra documentation, whenever you need, you're not sure about the syntax, or you're not sure about how you should organize your code, basically, I included some sections of this book with very specific sections that are linked, that are mapped to. And if like, let's say in Milestone 2 you have some problems, then you can go straight away to those sections, which are very specific, and they help you solve the problems from this from the problems that we ask you to solve here, without having to check the solutions and therefore lose your certificate. So yeah, this is already also pretty good. And note that the sections that I mentioned in my course from the book are free for you for 90 days. So 90 days after you buy the book, 90 days after you buy the live project, you get for free the sections that I mentioned in my course from those other books. You get them for free, so that's pretty cool. And you have some very, very famous people and very professional people that write those books. Like, I'm thinking of Bogumil Karminski. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I think he's Polish, and he's very well known in the Julia community. He's writing the book, and we have some references from his book. So so it's probably a nice resource to check. I just wanted to show you something else. So you see, we have 51 people who bought the course so far, and it's been launched recently, so it's pretty amazing. I'm pretty happy with that. You see the two books here, Julia as a second language and Julia for data analysis. This one is the one from Bogomil Kaminsky, and this one is from someone else. I don't remember his name right now, but he's also I'm sure it's also a great book. You see, we have a cool map here. I don't know how familiar you are with the Manning website, but we have a nice map here with people from all around the world buying the course. So you see, we have quite a few people in the US. We have people in Europe, Northern Europe as well, and people in Asia and Indonesia here, Singapore actually. So yeah, it's just pretty cool. For each project, you've got this kind of land page where you can see everyone from the course. Okay, so maybe we could. I don't know if I'm supposed to. Oh, you have mentors as well, and author with some bio. This is myself, and I was thinking maybe we could do some coding as well. So I prepared here stream.ipy notebook. Okay, so the idea would be to make some. Okay, let's make a bakery. Let's make something that's very close to the first live project, but not exactly the answer to the live project, because I don't know if I'm supposed to actually give you the answers to the live project. Maybe it's better if you guys have some food for thought. So let's say that I want to make a bakery. So one way to do that would be to make mutable struct, for instance, that I could call like bakery, and inside, then at the end I put an end keyword. This is in Julia. This is I hope you can see. If you can't see, just let me know. You put an end keyword, and then you can have stuff like I don't know. Maybe let's make. I'm checking my notes at the same time. Let's make something like fonts. Maybe we won't need that, but let's make it a float 64 for now, and we can have the stock, which is like a dictionary. Okay, let's start with that for now. And basically, something for the stock could be like stock, which would be a dict, and this dict would contain stuff like, I don't know, croissant, which would, and then you could have the price, for instance, so like, I don't know, 0.2, that could be in US dollars or something. And the next would be, I don't know, whatever, baguette. I'm sorry, I'm French, so I kind of have a bias with those things. Baguette would be like 1.0, and then last thing, I don't know, do they sell pizzas in bakeries? Probably, at least in France, and that would be like 2.5. And then basically, what you'd like to do is you can make a simple store, like a simple bakery at the beginning. So like bakery equal bakery, and then we're gonna need to put something here. So like stock and funds as well. So let's say like funds equal, I don't know, 52 or 42 actually. 42 is always the answer. Okay, so bakery with funds and stock. Okay, so let's check bakery. Okay, yeah. I had run my cell before, so my kernel was active for Julia. You see here in VS Code, if you choose Julia, you can choose your environment basically. And if you choose Julia, you'll have this running. The first cell might take a while to run, but this is specific to Julia, so don't worry about it. I'm using Julia in VS Code's version of Jupyter Notebook, but if you want to use the classical Jupyter Notebook, there's obviously no problem with that. By the way, one thing that I might have forgotten, actually I forgot, is it may be actually the most important. Why do we want to use Julia in the first place, actually? I didn't mention that, so I want to apologize for people in the stream because I didn't even mention that. Maybe you don't know Julia at all. So okay, let's start again from the beginning. I'm really sorry for those that were there from the beginning. The reason we want to use Julia actually, rather than Python or C, let's say these are like the two extreme cases. Like Python is super simple to write. Like the syntax is extremely straightforward, right? Like you have like it looks like plain English kind of, and then you've got C on the other hand, which has a like syntax which is sometimes quite hard to understand, frankly, and so that's like a good point for Python. But then on the other hand, Python is very slow and C is super fast. So like that's a good point for C. Then like what we'd like to do is basically have the best of both worlds. So we'd like to have something as simple as Python and something as fast as C. So like that was kind of a like a dilemma or something. Like if you wanted something simple, you had Python. If you wanted something fast, quick, you had C. And basically the inventors of Julia said, what if we made a language that would solve both? And that's how Julia was born. So yeah, this is how we got to Julia, and this is why I think that it's a great language, and it's a good idea to learn it in 2022. Okay, so back to the code. You see, basically it's close-ish from Python. There's some small different syntax here, but it's close-ish from Python. And maybe just to show you something else, if you go to Julia link, this is the official website from Julia. And they show several ways to use Julia in your project: machine learning, scientific computing, parallel computing. You have a bunch of stuff that you can do with Julia. It's pretty general, and they have quite a few libraries as well. And then I know in some places you also have the speed comparison. I think in Julia's 1.6 highlights they had it. I made a video on that on my channel as well. So. And I went through that here, so that's how I know it. So if you check the speed comparison, okay, it's not here. Is it here? No, it's not here. Okay, whatever. They make some comparisons, and Julia is way faster than Python, obviously, and as fast as C, and sometimes even faster than C. So it's on the same order of magnitude, basically, as C. Okay, can you You guys can read my font, right? You can read what I'm writing. I hope it's not too small. Hopefully it should be fine. So, do we have questions in the chat? No, there's no question for now. Cool. Okay, so font is good. Thanks, Rodriguez. Okay, cool. Now we've got our bakery basically set up, and what we'd like to do is to like add stuff to the stock, right? Like if we have a delivery and we get some new items, basically we want to be able to add them to the stock. So to add them to the stock dictionary here. So okay, let's keep bakery and let's make another cell here. So let's say we have a function. So in Julia, functions are defined with the function keyword, and you've got nice autocomplete in VS Code, which gives you the end keyword and the commas here, the parentheses, sorry. And we want to do something like delivery. Note that there's no colon here, so you just have the parentheses and then your indent, and that's how you do it in Julia. So if we have a delivery, we can have an item basically. So that's going to be the idea. It's not perfect yet, but I'll just show you the idea. And basically, we want to do something like stock. Yes, so store like bakery dot stock of item plus equal 1. So plus equal means that you take this quantity, you add 1, and you assign it to this quantity. It's the same as in Python, so I'm guessing most of you would be familiar with that. So that would be the idea. So then hopefully it should work if we do something like delivery of pizza. Okay, we get 3.5. We get 3.5 because we had... Okay, sorry, that was the price. Oh, my bad. My bad. I thought that was the prices. Okay, my bad. Let's make it 25 pizzas. Let's make it 10 baguettes, and let's make it 2 croissants. Okay, sorry, apologies about that. Okay, so now if we run that, now that we have 25 pizzas, if we add 1 pizza, we should have 26 pizzas, right? Yes, 26 pizzas. So that's fine. It's working. Are you guys sleeping in the comments? You guys didn't pick that up. Okay, I thought that was I thought everyone was checking what I was doing and checking for my stupid mistakes, but you guys didn't check my mistakes. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so let's say we want to add this item, so we can do that. And if we want to add several pizzas, I thought you were selling pizzas by the slice. Okay, by the slice. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now we're selling full pizzas and full baguettes and full croissant. Thanks, Rodriguez. What if we add pizzas twice? So you see that when we add pizzas, we get a bigger number of pizzas whenever we have deliveries. So that's fine, but here we're not specifying anything for item. We could specify something like string, and it would take a string, but actually we'll do something else. We'll specify something like array, and basically what it's going to tell Julia is that instead of item being like a string, it's going to be an array. So actually, let's call it item list. Now that we have a new name, and we can do something like for item in item list, and then we're going to want to indent that and add an end keyword here. Okay, so see the logic here is like you iterate over the list of items, and for every item you add it to the stock, right? So now probably this is not going to work anymore. Okay, probably if I restart the kernel, let me restart the kernel, just because now Julia has the function we had written before. Julia has it in memory. So if I restart the kernel and I run that, see, it takes a while because the kernel just started. Okay, 2.8 seconds is okay. And now this is running. Yeah, now we get an error because Julia is expecting an array here, and Okay, why, how is it returning the number of pizzas? Okay, we have a question. It's returning the number of pizzas because we're adding one here, and I guess automatically Julia prints what we doing here, or maybe returns it. Actually, we can check if you want. I'll just go back to the function we had before, and let's see if I can like get that to a variable. Like what if I do that? Just to answer your question, in the item is not defined. Okay, that's actually what we wanted. 26. So if I do pizza plus 1 or plus 10. Okay, so it seems like when you're doing that, I guess since it is the last thing that you mentioned, probably this is the reason why Julia is returning it. I guess if I'm doing something like adding whatever afterwards, probably it won't return it. Yeah, okay, you see, like if I just have something afterwards, like this bakery thing is not, like the value here is not returned. So I guess this is the reason why. And probably we want to do something like, we can either return something or we can do nothing, I guess, because what we want to do is modify the stock itself. So yeah, I guess we don't want to do anything with it. I mean, it's going to update the stock, but we don't want to keep using the output of this delivery function, right? You're welcome, man. Hi, Daniel42. Thanks for joining, and thanks for saying hi. Okay, so back to the item list. Which is an array. So this is how you specify the type of an array of, well, the type of the argument here in Julia. So let me restart the notebook just to make sure that our previous function, so this one, will not work. Okay, so notebook is restarted. I'll be running the cells. Takes a while, that's normal, as I said, in Julia. And thanks for everyone joining, by the way. I see that some people joined. Okay, so we get an error, which is, as we mentioned before, it's normal, right? But now if we go back to what we were doing before, so for item in item lists, and then we want to do that, and then we want to have something like that. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to have a list of items. So something like, let's go for item list equals, oops, sorry. And then we'll do something like croissant, pizza, and let's write pizza again. Well, okay, let's keep it simple for now. So let's go with that, and let's go with item list. Okay, so if we do that, normally what we're expecting is to increase the quantity of croissant by 1 and of pizza by 1. That's what we're expecting. Let's see if we made a mistake. Okay, so it seems fine. Okay, I'm still doing assigning here, which I don't really want to do. But let's check maybe the bakery. Okay, so what happened? Okay, so yes, we have bakery with the funds here, and then dictionary with baguette. We have 10 baguettes, which makes sense because we had 10 baguettes here, and we didn't add any here. Then pizza, we have 26, because we had 25 baguettes, 25 pizzas before, and we added 1, so we have 26, and we had 2 croissants before, as you can see here, and now we have a third one because we delivered one to our bakery, right? So okay, that's cool. That's cool. Now if you want to, let's say we want to make another delivery, and this time we'd like to deliver 3 baguettes, right? So let's say baguette, and then I'm just gonna be lazy and copy paste it, baguette, right? So this time we want to add 3 baguettes. Sorry about that. Reminder. So we want to add 3 baguettes here. So we have 10 baguettes as of now. Now we add the 3 baguettes. I just run this cell, and now we should have 13 baguettes. Yes. So you see we have 13 baguettes, and the number of pizzas is 26, and the number of croissants is 3, right? Okay, sorry. We have more messages. Hi Joris, hi everyone. Do we get to know Julia or else? Yes, you get to know Julia. This is Julia coding. I don't know if that's your question. Yeah, and the project is the live project is about learning Julia as well. Yes, you get to learn Julia, and if you're not familiar with plots as well, you get an introduction to that. You get an introduction to let's say some kind of epidemiology. So it's not epidemiology for the sake of epidemiology. It's actually like more like an excuse in order to learn Julia. I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, so probably if you watch it in replay afterwards, you'll have that. But yeah, the course is about learning Julia for sure, which is like Julia is probably a very promising technology in 2022, I guess. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It's a great idea to learn Julia, and you use it for data science as well. So this is a very promising field, I think. Does that answer your question? Yes. Cool. Okay, so back to our code. Here we want to add 3 baguettes, but like the problem is that we have to write it many times, and if we wanted to add 50 baguettes, then it would be impossible. Like it would be, we could do it. We have some tricks to do it, but it would not be the best way to implement it, I guess. So let's split our code here. And let's basically make another function, and I'm going to introduce you to something which is pretty cool in Julia. So this is like delivery, let's say function 1, and then takes an array as input. Daniel42 is asking, is this Jupyter inside VS Code? Yes, it's this is a Jupyter notebook. You see the extension is IPy notebook, and sorry, we have more questions in the chat. And this is Jupyter inside of VS Code. I find it so much better. You have autocomplete, you have dark mode, you have better shortcut. I find that in Jupyter Notebook, so I like it way better. Then we have another question. Hi everyone, how long of this stream I lost? I was so looking forward to it. So thanks for joining, Manism. We started half an hour ago, and we have one more. Well, we have half an hour still to go. So you didn't lose everything, and if you want, you can watch it in replay. So thanks for tuning in. Okay, so let's write. So that was our delivery function number 1, and let's make delivery function 2. Takes let's say dictionary. Are there 2 ends for dictionary? I hope not. Uptime. Okay, cool. Okay, there's a shortcut in Twitch to show the uptime. So let's make delivery function 2 takes a dictionary as input. Sorry, input in one word, obviously. Okay, so basically in Python, if you wanted to do that, you'd have to make something like dictionary array, right? And then dictionary dict. I guess this is the way you do it in Python, or you could do something like check if the argument here is of type array. If it is, then you do this. Otherwise, you do that. But in Julia, there's something actually really cool, which is multiple dispatch. So let's make a markdown cell with something like multiple dispatch. Okay, and here we make let's just call it items here, and let's call it items here. And then what we want to do is basically to go over the keys, over the elements in the dict. So let me check how we did that. Yes. Okay. So let's call that a dict. Python doesn't have method overloading. No, I don't think Python has method overloading. I think you can check the type and then do something depending on it, but I don't think it does have a method of overloading. I think this is a concept in C, Budorai, if I'm correct. Just let me know. Gotcha, learned something new. Okay, cool. Well, you didn't waste your time then, I'm happy. Okay, so now we want to have a dict here, and basically what we're gonna do, so let's go over items, which is gonna be a dict, and let's just, for now, let's just print item, right? So we haven't seen that yet, but println is basically print with a new line in Julia. In Python it's just print, but in Julia they have difference between print and println. So println prints on a new line in Julia. So that's yeah. Just don't be worried if print prints everything on the same line. Okay, so let's try that. So let's go for something like delivery dict, and then we'll have something like a dictionary with okay, let's say it has beget and it has like 3 of them. Okay, and then let's make pizza and it has 4 of them, whatever. Okay, and then we'll do delivery, and in delivery we'll have the items parameter is going to be delivery, sorry, it's kind of unreadable, delivery dict, right? Yes, okay, so let's do that and let's see what it prints. So it prints, see, it prints each item here, and it prints the, okay, it prints, where's it print? Yes, it prints the item of the delivery. So let me check my, I'm cheating a bit. Okay, yes. So you see that there are 2 elements to that. So let's see if we can subscript that. So let's see if we can get the first element. By the way, Julia is 1 indexed. So when you get the first element, it's actually the first element. There is no 0th element in Julia. So I know people are coming from Python or from C, so just be aware of that. Okay, that's new also. Yes, it's when you want to try, when you work with a modulo or like remainders and this kind of thing, sometimes it makes it a nightmare to work with 1 indexed things. Okay, so you see what happened here? We have baguette and pizza. So let's go with item 2 as well. Item 2. So you see baguette 3 and pizza 3. So basically item 1 is going to be your key and item 2 is going to be your value, right? So like in Fortran or MATLAB. Yes, like in Fortran or MATLAB, I guess. But I don't know, for me it was hard in the beginning to have 0 index, and now that I'm more used to 0 index, like there's no turning back. I cannot go to 1 index anymore. But I guess that's a matter of personal preference. Okay. So basically our item 2 is going to be, so let's write it here, something like item 2 is the value, and something like item 1 is the key. So this is like the, let's call it the product, and this is the number of items. Okay, let's be consistent and call that the item and number of items. Okay, so you see we have baguette and 3. So what we want to do basically, we're going to want to add item 1. So like we're going to want to take the bakery dot stock of item 1. So this says take bakery dot stock, and you access the key, so like the pizza or the baguette or whatever. And we're going to want to say plus equal item 2, and then we have an extra parenthesis. So you take, so we're going to go inside the stock dict, we're going to go to croissant, this is item 1, and we're going to add whatever number we have in our dictionary here. So if we do that, what we're going to have, so let's just check for now bakery. And let's say bakery.stock. Can we do that? Yes, normally we can. Cool. So you see the stock, and now we're going to run that. Okay, that runs, no problem. And we had 13, 26, 3. Now if we check the stock, we have 16, 33. So basically we added 3 baguettes and 4 pizzas. Okay, but I don't know if you kept track of what we're doing, but so for those of you that know method overloading and this kind of thing, you're familiar with it. But what we did is we just used the same function with a different type of argument, and we did something different based on the type of argument. Like, it just makes sense that when you deliver items, you can either say, okay, I had baguette, pizza, croissant, baguette, pizza, croissant, whatever. But you can also say, I had 2 items of baguette, I had 3 items of pizza, I had 19 items of croissant, right? So these 2 methods make sense, and this is what multiple dispatch is for. It's just when several behaviors are available depending on the context, but kind of all of them make sense, at least in this case. Okay, so now we have bakery.stock, and we can add some more checks basically. So next thing we could do is we could add some other lines here with other items and other number of items present. And we didn't do anything with the funds so far. So maybe we can make something like a price or prices. Let's say prices equal dict. And what we want to do with that is we want to have the prices of each item in the stock, and kind of remove them from the funds if someone comes and buys the item, right? Okay, so we'll have the prices in just a second, right? So we'll do that, do that in a second. But first of all, let's make a buy method, right? So the buy method will be kind of the same as delivery, but just removing items instead of adding them, right? So I'll just copy that. I'll duplicate it. Let's make something like delivery functions, and let's make something like buy functions, right? Okay, and then we'll just change a couple things. Buy function 1 takes an array as input, buy, and then this should be minus equal. We can add a couple checks here, right? So if you're good with programming, you figured those out already, right? So you know that we should probably check if item is part of of what's in the stock keys. For delivery, if it's not in the stock keys, we should just like create a new one basically. For buying, you can't buy something if it's not in the stock, right? Like if the shop doesn't sell pizzas, you can't buy pizzas from the shop, right? So these are things that we should check. We should also check if for the buy functions, we should check that there are enough items in the currently in stock and this kind of thing. So these are things that we go more in depth with in the course. But for now, we're just making some very heuristic, very simple functions, and like you can complexify them if you want on your own, or you can do that through the course as well. So what was I saying? Yes. So you can go through the items in the array, and then you just remove one from the stock. And here the same thing. We go through the items, and for item 1, we're going to remove whatever number we said to remove in 2. So let's just try that. Let's change the name as well. Let's change the name here. By text a dictionary as input. So far everything is the same, right? Okay, so let's stop making deliveries. Let's comment this out. Now let's test our buy functions. So let's just run that for now. Okay, buy. You see, like if you have the buy function. So let's say I just run the buy function here. It tells you buy generic function with 2 methods. So that's also something pretty cool in Julia, is that like, especially if you're working in a notebook and you run your cells many times, and like next thing you make a buy function and you forget to change something, you have a string here, let's say, and then you run the cell. It tells you that you have a third method. So basically it's telling you that you have a buy function. Well, you don't know what types are defined. Maybe there's a way to check it. I don't know. We should check. But you know that you're expecting 2, but Julia is telling you that there are 3. So you know that there's something wrong. So sometimes it just reminds you to restart the kernel. So I'll just do that now. And let me go through that again, running this. Yeah, it's running here. Okay, it's taking a while. Yeah, as I said before, I said it many times, but Julia on the first run sometimes just takes ages, and the creators just mentioned it and said that it's normal. So it's kind of crazy, but that's the way it is. By generic with 3 methods, and now if you rerun it, two methods, right? So now this is what we expect because we have our two methods. And if we go do something like bakery.stock, we're going to see what's in the stock. So we have this number of baguettes, this number of pizzas, this number of croissants. So let's say by array, and that's going to be an array with like baguette, croissant, and let's say baguette again. Okay, so here we have an array, so we know we're going to enter this function, and we're going to iterate over the arrays, and every time we see an item, we remove it from the stock of the bakery, right? Sorry. So hopefully now, if a customer comes and buys something from the buy array, what we're expecting is to see 2 baguettes less, so we should have 8 baguettes, and 1 less croissant, so we should have only 1 croissant left. Croissant are good, so that makes sense. Do you guys know croissant, by the way? I don't know if it's famous in the UK or in Chile, so that we had people from Chile. Okay, let's run that. Let's run that. Item list is not defined. Okay. Okay, yeah, because no item list, it's items. Sorry about that. Okay, so now it ran. Let's check if it did what we wanted. Yes, we have 8. Someone's telling me that it's famous all over the world. Are you Italian, by the way? Italian curdo? Croissant are worldwide. Okay, cool. Cool. This is our French soft power that's going overseas, so I'm happy. But you should come to France and try the actual croissant, by the way. I think they're much better in France than elsewhere. Yes, it is in Germany too. Yeah, but you have fake croissant in Germany. I know Germany a bit, and they're kind of fake. But you have nice other nice things. So yeah. Anyway, so you see we're missing 2 baguettes and we're missing 1 croissant now. So that's what we expected. Now let's try something else. Let's make a by dict. Let's say that we're gonna, okay, so it's gonna be dict, then parenthesis here. Let's remove 1 baguette. Can I format that? Okay, then we're gonna want some arrows. So baguette, we're gonna buy 3 baguettes, and yes, it is in Germany. Agree with what? That you have bad croissant or good other things? I think you have good other things. And croissant, we're gonna buy the last croissant, right? Let's okay, so we have the by dict here, and we're gonna remove this and make it a by dict, right? So what are we expecting here? We expecting to buy the last croissant and 3 baguettes. So we should have 5 here, right? So let's run that. Okay. Okay, yes, I defined my method as a dict, with a string. Okay, my bad. You guys could have told me that. Anyway, both. Okay, both. Cool. Okay, so now we're gonna have 3 methods. Okay, but I'm not gonna restart the kernel because I want to keep working with those numbers. But we're gonna have 3 methods, and one of them is the one with the string. So this one is wrong. So kind of don't worry about it. Okay, so running this again. Okay, so now things work fine. So I hope you guys understood the mistake. It was that this was a string, so it was expecting a string, and when I gave it a dict here, so I defined my dict and I put it inside of by, it was telling me like, what the fuck, I don't know any dict argument, I'm expecting a string argument, so what you doing? And fair enough, now it should work. So if we run that, we had 8, 25, 1, and now 5, 25, 0, right? So this is fine. And by the way, I think there's no limitation on how many functions we make with the same name. So if, well, there should be no limitation. If we want to make a third one, for instance, that takes a string as input, we could do that. So now it's going to override the functions I had written before with items as a string, right? Let me keep items just to show that we can have the same name here, but let's say something like Let's remove that and let's unindent that. And then we're gonna want to do something like items, yes, minus equal 1. So this is basically the same thing as the array version of it, but it's just with one item at a time, right? So now we could just make something like by string, and then we're gonna have something like pizza. And if we buy string, we should go from 25 pizza to 24 pizza, right? So now we have the by string defined. I made no mistake this time, hopefully. We just remove 1 because it's only it's just removing pizza once, right? Okay, let's run that. 24. Okay, yeah, as we saw before, it's now returning this thing, but like whatever, it's just because it's the last cell, so Jupyter displays it, but we don't care. And here we have 24, right? Okay, so we saw a bunch of things. Maybe if I just do what you guys wanna check for the last 10 minutes. We have 10 more minutes. Yeah, if you guys have suggestions, things that you wanna see, just let me know. Do you have questions about the course? Maybe. Oh, by the way, maybe now is a good time. There is something I wanted to mention. So for those of you that haven't bought the course yet and that want to do it, there is a promo code. Let me just type that in the chat. Promo code, which is watch LIMONIER 40, and this is going to give you 40% off the course. So I just typed it in the chat, watch LIMONIER 40, and it is active. Let me check if I know. Okay, I think it's going to be active for a while. I don't know how long, but this is kind of a special discount for people that were in the stream and that stuck all the way until now, because it's been 50 minutes and it's really nice for you to stick around. Okay, there's a question from Rodriguez. Do you show unit testing in the course, or are you using the notebooks as unit test? Okay, a couple of questions. So unit testing, no, we're not doing unit testing. We're not really going through that. It's more of an introductory course, and the syntax of Julia, kind of getting you running with that, seeing what you're able to do. We're not only doing Python notebook actually. So I have the code, the solutions from the course, and you see like the first project is in Julia, like .jl, and then the other ones are in Python notebook. So it's probably a good thing. Like you see several ways of coding and several, like, working a bit with one type of text file, like the actual Julia file, which is the clean one, and then maybe for a learning environment, I think maybe notebooks are better. So then we move to notebooks, especially since this is project 2, and in project 2 we're doing a lot of plotting. So yeah, probably for plotting I think it's just easier with notebooks, really. I hope that answers your question, Rodriguez. We have another question. Can you shed some light on practical use cases of Julia? In what context should we use it? Yeah, of course. So as I mentioned before, if you go to julialang.com, so yeah, Julia is basically it's pretty strong. So first of all, it's faster than Python. So it's way faster than Python. This is the strong advantage. So it's like if you told me, what do you use Python for? Well, you can use Python for many things. Python is even more diverse than Julia because it has a bigger, let's say, community. So probably there are more libraries developed, but like if you check the Reddit of Julia, it's the number of people learning Julia is increasing so quickly. The number of people in the subreddit is just exploding. So I guess there are many people coming into Julia like every day. and things you can do with Julia. You can do visualization. So you see all of those. So like visualization, 2D visualization, 3D visualization. It kind of took the best of all of the words from like the speed of C, the simplicity of Python, the nice plotting things with R. Like it's got some ideas of R as well, which is really nice. And I think that I think Gatfly might be the one that is trying to kind of mimic what what's the name of the most famous library in R? I forgot the name. ggplot2, right? Yes, ggplot2. So it's kind of trying to mimic what ggplot2 does. So you have all of these capacities, and it's really interesting. Build, deploy, and embed your code. You can go over the website really of Julia Lang. It's pretty well made. Obviously, data science. I guess maybe if there was one place or two places, let's say, where Julia shines, is data science and scientific computing. I'm not really into scientific computing, but I heard people telling me that it's really, really good for that. So, but for data science, this is my field, and Julia is really nice with that. It's got kind of nice ideas from Python and R at the same time, so that's really cool. Obviously, you can work with data frames, so this is the equivalent of pandas. You can work with CSVs, like just what pandas does as well. You have a couple other libraries that they mentioned as well. And machine learning. So data science and machine learning, obviously, they're quite linked, right? So like obviously, if Julia is strong in one, it's going to be strong in the other. Scientific domain. I think this is you can work with differential equations. I heard this package is really strong. By the way, if you want to import something in Julia, you just use using and then the name of the library, and it just imports it. So it's as simple in Python. I don't know how it is in C, for instance, but in Python it's as simple. I think you have something for biology. You have physics, quantum things. So in scientific computing, I know it's really, really strong. I think it's as strong as in data science, and I know in data science it's really strong. So I bet if you work in physics, biology, chemistry, whatever, it's probably a good choice for you. And parallel computing, it has parallel capacities as well. Okay, in what context should we use it? Yeah, but as I said, it's kind of like Python. It's pretty general. I think you even have some projects. They're not huge yet, but you have some projects like the equivalent of Flask, basically, I think, in Julia. So that's a pretty, like you can do many things basically, and people are developing more and more packages as we go, just like in Python. Like everyone can put some packages on pip, and it's the same in Julia basically. I may have missed it. Are you using Julia in a professional capacity? How has it been? So I have a couple projects on Julia actually. So if you go to my GitHub, so this is my GitHub. Yeah, sorry about the face. Julia enthusiast. I'm right now. I'm doing my masters. So we use mostly Python in my masters, just because like the people teaching us kind of force us to use Python. So like, fair enough, we use scikit-learn and this kind of thing. But it's for my personal projects, I used Julia. So if you check, I have a cryptography code here, which is written in Julia, and I have LCS, which is also written in Julia. So here, just a couple. You can check those out if you want to see what it looks like in whatever, some actual code. You can check how these look like. This is just like several ciphers, like cryptography methods, and kind of going from ciphered code to deciphered code, basically, this kind of thing. Yeah, I made some docs as well, so you can check those out. And the second project I have on here, which is quite furnished, is the one on LCS. So there's basically a lot of ideas from the third project I taken here. And I have a presentation. The link is also in the third project, in the resources. You have the link to this page as well. So this is this is a slideshow from the project I made on LCS, and basically just explaining you what LCS are, what's the goal, and the whole implementation is made in Julia, so you can see what it looks like. So if I just show you the SRC, if if I just show you the code, it's, yeah, this is Julia, so you can go ahead and check it out. My name is Joris Limonier, so JorisLimonier, everything in one word. And this is all Julia code, so I have some experience writing Julia code. And to be honest, I'm a mathematician, so I just, like, when I see Julia, I'm just thinking, like, this is so well made and this is so straightforward. So, like, there's some natural elegance to it, to be honest. Like, when you code in it, for me, it flows more naturally than Python. Like, Python sometimes is a bit, there are some things where I'm just like, come on, you put the, like, dot shape after a data frame, but if you want to check the length, then you have to put it beforehand. Like, there are some things where I'm kind of hitting my head on the keyboard, but I don't know. I feel like on Julia there are less of those things, so I don't know if it's actually true. I don't have any statistic to back it up. Okay, cool, merci. Okay, nice. You have some French, Vlad Floor. Apologies, the course is on manning.com. Yes, absolutely. I showed it at the beginning, but if you missed it, the course is on liveproject.manning.com, and I think if you just type here learn Julia in 3 project, it's going to be here, like, learn Julia. I think if you type learn Julia, you should have it already. Okay, learn Julia. Yes, it's the first result, right? This is for Boudoré. Learn Julia in 3 projects, and then you have the code here. The project here. So I'll just rewrite the promo code. So discount code in the chat, just for those that came late and missed it. So this gives you minus 40%, right? It's watch Limonier 40, and it gives you minus 40%. So I guess maybe instead of 60 originally, it's going to be like kind of half of that, so like 35, I guess, or something. Or yeah, I think the 40% are out of this price. Thanks a lot. It was a super interesting presentation. The GitHub material also seems awesome. Yeah. So in case you missed my GitHub profile, it's this URL. I'll just send it in the chat as well. Yeah, I have a couple projects. If you guys want to contribute, you're always welcome. Yes, so live project, Learn Julia series, you can buy the courses deep independently, or you can buy them all together and you get a reduced price. I think, like, obviously that's what I'm going to say, but I think, to be honest, it makes more sense to buy them, to buy the whole bunch. Obviously I'm going to say that, but like, let me explain you why. The projects are made in order to make you go from one to the other, and like really from the beginning to the start to the end. And you start with the very simple thing that we saw, like the shop thing. So instead of a bakery in the project, it's a shop, but it's the same idea. And then you start and you have a real, like a full data set, and you basically like work on data set, plot stuff, and you go into much more advanced thing than we do we did today. So yeah, it's I think it's interesting because you have the whole evolution throughout the project. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, actually project 1 is kind of introduction to Julia. Project 2 is kind of introduction to plotting, and project 3 is like a huge project that you work on yourself, and you kind of build things up a bit more independently than in the 2 previous projects, and you make up your own answer. You're kind of guided, but at the same time you're more independent, right? Cool intro. Thanks for the presentation and originality. Which intro are you talking about? Is that this one? Or this one? I don't know. But thanks anyway, Cloudflow. Okay, so what time is it? Okay, it's 9:04. So obviously I went over time because it was fun. It was fun to interact with you actually in the chat. Maybe just one last thing. I have a YouTube channel that you guys might want to check out. The channel is called Datafile. Sorry, we have another question. Is Project 2 guided? Yes, Project 2 is kind of, Project 2 here is kind of guiding you through learning how to plot in Julia, because it's kind of, I would say it's probably closer to R in when you're plotting. it's less close to Python plotting in Julia. But yeah, obviously everything is guided. You have the documentation. You like I'm explaining you how to do stuff. We make histograms, we make scatter plots, we make line plots, we make I can't remember others, but we also make subplots. So you plot several figures into the same figure. So it's yeah, it's obviously, I think it's pretty cool. You really get a good idea of overall all kinds of useful plots that you can run. And if you guys want to check out more videos, I have a couple of videos on YouTube. This is my channel, Data File by Joris LIMONIER. I'll put the link in the chat. Yes, so this is YouTube. Right. Okay, so yeah, you have some guide through on like installing Julia, like the beginning. This is the new version that came out some time ago, and like what was new at that time. Data structures, functions, multiple dispatch. So yeah, if you want to get some idea of how I teach, then you can have it here. And then if you want to go further, obviously I encourage you to buy the course on Manning and like getting the whole bunch. It could be interesting. Already subscribed. Thanks, man. Thanks everyone. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks everyone for joining. Thank you so much. So Vlad Flor, Rodriguez, Italian Cordu, Manizan, and probably a couple more I forgot. Daniel 42, Budaray. Thank you very much everyone for joining. If you want to contact me, my email is on GitHub here. So you can just contact me at joris.limonier@gmail.com. And if you have any question, any more information about the course or anything, just contact me. I'll be happy to answer and to guide you, maybe give you some resources or something. So yeah, that was it. I think we did it. Thank you for those that stuck until the end. That was quite a marathon. So thank you so much. And yeah, I hope to chat with you soon. Okay, bye bye everyone. Thank you very much.